Okay, we're good.
Okay. So I started with the essential question of what does it mean to be a nurse? And when I first started with this question, I realized that there were really two sides to this question. The first being from the side of the patient and the patient's family. Because for them, the nurse is someone who's there to help them and is just really there for them. And from the actual nurse, it could be a job, it could be something to pay the bills, or it could be something more than that. It could be something for them or a way for them to help other people. So for my project, I became an LNA. So an LNA is a licensed nurse's assistant. And there were a lot of things I learned through this project. So I got a lot of hands-on experience within the nurses field. Even though an LNA isn't a nurse, we work side by side with nurses. And I also learned a lot from the research that I have done. And I have found 3 words that I found really sum up what it means to be a nurse. The first being intelligence. Now I say intelligence because nurses have to go through 4 years of intense schooling. Now anyone who knows what a law school program is like, they say it's harder than a law school program. And also, a normal program, you go through your classes. If you pass them, then you get your degree. And then you go off to work for whatever you want to do. But for nursing, yes, you have to pass your classes. Yes, you have to get your degree. But then you also have to take your state exam. So that's really something that's really intense and takes a lot of time to accomplish. Through my personal experience with my LNA program, the tests were really complicated. Even though there were multiple choice, they still made me stop and think about all the things that I had been learning. And for my second word, I came up with selflessness. Now you may ask, how is nursing selfless? Because they get paid for what they do and a fair amount depending on where you work. Well, I come back with another question as why would anyone want to be a nurse? Because of the 4 years of intense schooling and things that are sometimes hard to stomach, as long as actually doing things that are difficult, physically demanding things. And I answered that question with the word selfless. Because nurses do this because they want to help others. Through my personal experience, through my LNA course, we got 3 breaks throughout the day. 1 in the morning to debrief on what we had been doing that morning. Then after lunch, after everyone else was served. So as far as selflessness goes, it really depends on the patient because they have the right to deny care. So if they don't want to get up in the morning, you have to wait till they're ready to get up. So one of these cases, it was 5 minutes before my lunch break, and I stayed and made sure I did everything as best as I could for her, and also that I went above and beyond and made sure that she was comfortable and there was nothing else that I could do before I went to my break. The last and final word I found repeated throughout multiple texts and repeated by multiple people was compassion. So the basis of nursing, I find, is compassion. So not only do nurses check the physical well-being of people, they also check in with their mental well-being. So not only do they care for the body, but for the person within the body. And that really stuck out to me because it's 2 different things when you think about it. So my story with compassion is of a little old French lady that I met during clinicals. She was my first resident that I had. And I kept seeing her throughout my clinicals. And it really meant a lot to me because when I first went in and saw her, she smiled, this beautiful smile at my instructor. And once we put her dentures in, it was even more beautiful. But as I got to know her and work with her and care for her more, you started to notice when she was having her ups and downs, just like everyone else has. And there was one day, they were playing music in the dining hall, and as we were walking out and I was bringing her back to her room, I could tell she was having one of her down days. So as we walked out, I kind of danced around and tried to get her to smile. She looked up at me and she had an amazing laugh, and I was scared because I thought I had just made this woman laugh so hard she was going to go down on the floor. But then she looked back up from her walker and paused her laughing momentarily to tell me that I was crazy. This was the first thing that this woman had ever said to me. And since that day, she kept telling me I was crazy and laughing. And that really sparked something inside of me and made me feel that compassion for her. So to sum up these 3 words that I found, I sent out a survey that talked about many different aspects of nursing. So I sent it out to many different types of nurses. And one of the responses that I got was from a nurse who had sat beside a dying woman. And she, quote, said it was an enlightening experience. Now, this woman didn't have to be there while that person was dying. That was something she did out of her own time to go and do. Not because she had to, but because she wanted to. And that was selfless. And then the intelligence part. She knew that while people are dying, the last sense to go is hearing. So she continued talking to this person as they were dying to make sure that they were okay, telling them that they're okay. And that kind of hit a little hard for me. And then lastly was the compassion. Because she said it was an enlightening experience. Not many people would consider death enlightening. They would consider it sad and moving. But to her it was enlightening. At the end of her story, she said they went with a smile on their face. So that really hit close to home for me. But then my instructor told me a quote that also hit with all 3 points was, it's not about knowing what to do all the time. Because you can know how to care for someone. You know all the tools in the bag. But it's when you don't know how to do something, when something doesn't follow the textbook and you don't know what to do, it's important to know who to go to and ask for help. Because as long as you know who to ask for help, you're always going to know what to do. So that was something that really stuck out to me. So from this, I learned the difference between independence and maturity. So with independence, that comes with knowing what to do. So you can know how to care for somebody. But maturity is knowing when to give up that independence and knowing when to commit when you don't know how to do something and when you need help. So I come back to the final question of what does it mean to be a nurse. So yes, I came up with the 3 words of selflessness, compassion, and intelligence. But overall, I found that because there's so many aspects, the only real answer I can give you is that it's complicated. Because from all the different viewpoints, nursing means something entirely different for everybody. So whether you're the patient, what it means to be a nurse to them means someone to care for them. But then for a family, it means someone to look out for their loved ones.